always talking about why side hustles are a terrific way to launch your business. And I have a phenomenal guest who's going to share how she turned her side hustle into a successful startup, thriving business. Come on and join me, and let's learn more from this amazing female founder, because it's startup story time. Hey folks, I'm so thrilled you're here to join me on the Startup Story Time. I'm your host, Ande Lyons, and with 4 businesses to my credit, I know from hands-on experience what it's like to lay awake at night and wonder, what am I doing? Well, through this series and interviews with other founders, I'm here to help you maximize the joy and minimize the heartache from your startup journey. My intention is to help you sharpen your tool set to find solutions and advice that you need for your business right now, along with techniques to help you rein in that beautiful brain of yours. And you'll find plenty of inspiration in these conversations so you can remember about the possibility that you're seeking with your business, not the guarantees, right? I want you waking up every day feeling more on purpose with your business. And so through the Startup Story Time, you're going to hear from other founders who have made it through some real serious struggles in their entrepreneurship journey. And today I'm going to introduce you to this phenomenal guest, Vicki O'Neill. Say hello, Vicki.
Hi, Ande. Thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate it.
So our guest, Vicki O'Neill, founder of KenKay Marketing, is going to help you sharpen your marketing, sales, and strategy management skills while she shares her own sensational startup journey. Vicki's passion for helping small and mid-sized business leaders achieve success was the driving force to launching her business in 2011. What started out as a side hustle to fulfill marketing requests for entrepreneurs and startups, Vicki turned into a full-time strategy and coaching business. That's what we love about side hustles. Vicki helps business owners who are stuck, who need help creating new business and revenue opportunities, and who struggle with too much to get done and not enough time. Oh yeah, I'm feeling the head nodding and hands waving here, right, founders? Vicki hosts the Connect the Dots podcast, which focuses on marketing and sales-related topics. Now, I met Vicki on Instagram because I got to tell you, her content is so outstanding and compelling. It was easy to align with her vibe, and I quickly followed her everywhere she glows. I'm so thrilled she's here to share her wisdom, insights, and advice with you. Welcome to the show, Vicki.
Thank you so much, Ande. I appreciate you having me today.
Hey, where are you hailing from?
I am from just north of Cincinnati, Ohio.
I love our Midwest founders. Thank you so much for joining me on the show. I loved learning that your business began as a side hustle, which, FYI, folks, side hustles have a 32% greater chance of success than businesses launched by full-time entrepreneurs. So, Vicki, what were you doing full-time while you were side hustling, and why were folks reaching out to you for help with their marketing needs?
Well, I was actually working full-time in a corporate position, and it was a marketing related position. And soon after that, I got into sales, but I had people reaching out to me for different types of marketing requests. So can you help me design my logo? Or do you know anybody who can help me develop my website? Or do you know anyone who can help me with brochures? So they were more like ancillary type requests, but they were coming to me and seeing me as a marketing go-to person.
But how did you brand and position yourself that they would, did you meet them at events? How did that happen?
A lot of it was through referrals.
Okay.
So I had other people who either had their own business or just individual freelancers who were working with a customer and needed something more that they couldn't provide. So they knew that I was with a local group that was called New Media Dayton. It's not around anymore, but in being one of the board members on that organization, then I was connected with a lot of people in the community that I could help outsource and connect people that way.
And how did you become such a smarty pants marketing gal? I mean, like I mean, it wasn't there. You were minding your own business. Clearly, you were doing that for your corporate gig.
Yeah, I worked in different marketing roles and different sales roles. And then also my degree is in marketing and sales.
Oh,
So how convenient, right? So my marketing roles have been at every, different level, different type of role, whether it's like product management or it's like more marketing strategy or overseeing and developing and starting an actual marketing department where you're the only marketing person. And I think that was really the piece that led me to say, you know what, I really enjoy having this ownership and starting off with a whiteboard and saying, I can make of this marketing what I want to. And like, it was nice that at the time to have the support and financial backing of a company, but at the same time have the creativity to just kind of design my own marketing. So that was
wow.
one of the pivotal moments where I was just like, this is the time for me to really consider going out on my own.
Vicki, let's take a moment to talk about marketing.
Okay.
Because a lot of people have misconceptions about marketing. You went to school for it, you understand what marketing means, but would you share with the audience of Startup Life what is marketing?
Marketing has a lot of different meanings, but essentially it's creating messaging around your brand and your why and your purpose and getting that message out to your ideal target audience and allowing them to know what it is that you do, what you're passionate about, and ultimately how you can help them with their business. So
Great.
it's more than just, a social media presence or creating blog posts. It's really digging deeper into the core of the business and why it actually exists, and then getting that out through those different platforms, whether it's your blog or social media posts.
Right. And folks, it's really about strategy. You've got to remember that marketing is the big umbrella under which you are doing all those tactics, blogging, vlogging, your social media presence, showing up with your marketing materials everywhere you go. Right, Vicki?
Exactly. It's all about strategy, and the strategy for your marketing should align with business objectives. And there should be different goals with your marketing too. And one of those being every company can only be in existence with sales. So your goal-based marketing strategies need to align with your different sales strategies, which is why those two are so important to work together.
And how so often sales does not talk to marketing. And
And
that's a
vice versa.
leadership. Yeah. And that's a leadership issue. As a founder, you have to make sure, folks, that you are keeping your marketing and sales team talking vibrantly, vibing together and being on purpose. Because what I learned, and I always found so fascinating, is when you look at the chief marketing officers of big companies, they usually have a degree in mathematics or stats. Okay. I mean, they are very, very highly left brain people. And we tend to think of marketing as creative, right, Vicki?
Yes. Very much so.
Right. And so at the same time, there is a real numbers game behind this, and it's about data. And I'm always sharing with my founders, Vicki, that marketing without data is like driving a car without a steering wheel.
So
and
true.
it's the tactics, like you mentioned, of the tactics of social media and blogging and connecting with folks in a meaningful way. Your sales team can bring back information which helps you understand what are the numbers telling you.
Yeah, exactly. It also helps you, to your point, with making sure that you have the data. That's really important, especially from your existing customer base, but using the data to design your marketing strategies and to use that to support where you're putting your marketing efforts and your marketing dollars. That's actually going to drive the goals and the results that you ultimately want. And that's why it's so important too, to make sure that marketing and sales are aligned.
Right.
Sales can't achieve what marketing wants them to if there's a disconnect.
That's right. I heard a founder present recently, and she had never meant to have a business, but she designed a shoe and she was a salsa dancer. And what she thought of as marketing was an expense. And when she flipped her perception, right, into seeing marketing as an investment, a whole new world opened for her, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's so much more than that. It really is an investment in the company. It's not an expense. Now, it's harder to tie back things to marketing, but I think too many business leaders get caught up in that and not realize that your audience isn't going to know about your business without marketing.
Right.
And if they don't know about your business isn't going to exist because you need sales. So it's that trickle down effect of they all need to be on the same page in order to make those results happen.
I love it. You are a synthesizer.
I am.
You're making beautiful music between marketing and sales. I love that. And thank you for this quick little primer on marketing. It's, I'm all about continuing the education of founders and reminding them, because seriously, you have to hear things 3, 4, 5, 6, if you're like me, 8 times.
Yeah, me too. Repetition is good.
It all sinks in, and you can apply it deeper to your own business model. So back to you and your wonderful side hustle and why folks kept reaching out to you. What was it like to make that transition, though? What happened? Did something occur that was the impetus to help you make the transition to full time, or did you wake up one day and said, "I've had it. I can do this full time and still feed my family"?
No, that definitely did not happen. It was actually something that happened over a series of years. So I launched the company officially in 2011, but it wasn't until March of 2018, last year, that I went full in, 100% focused on the business and determined to make it work. So I've been in different marketing and sales roles with different companies, and the company that I was with up through February of 2018, they were dissolving my position, as well as some of it was an inside sales team, and I was managing part of that. And just through acquisitions and changes in direction, they decided to start dissolving that team.
Mm-hmm.
So since I'd always wanted to focus 100% on my company anyway, I saw that as a sign that this is the time. Like, I'm not getting any younger. I've got the experience. I see the opportunity. I love doing things more creatively and more strategically. And I felt like moving in that direction to focus 100% on my business was going to give me that internal satisfaction of doing something I absolutely loved, and then ultimately helping businesses, which is my ultimate purpose, is to help businesses with their business. I'll be the sideline cheerleader, but I'll help you get there too. So it was that. And then I'm a huge Gary Vaynerchuk fan. So
Right here too. Love you, Gary. Mwah, mwah.
Mwah, 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 mwah. So I, of course, listening to a lot of his interviews and his videos, and he's everywhere. So I was absorbing a lot of what he was saying, and he happened to have a video clip that talked about the importance of marketing and sales being aligned. And I'm like, that's it. Like, I could be a digital marketer, I could be a marketer, and I could find ways to differentiate myself. But that's when it hit me. I'm like, I've got the marketing and sales background. So let's focus on how businesses can make those two align and be even better than they already are.
I love that. Meanwhile, though, I also appreciate that you were on payroll from
Yes.
2011 to 2018.
Yes, I was.
So, folks, there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of confidence building that happens during those years with a side hustle, where you are able to, without being financially strapped and wondering how you're going to feed your family, build up your business acumen, understand your product market fit, and get better at what you're doing while you're on payroll and with benefits. Is that what it's like, Vicki?
Yeah, that is absolutely correct. You're 100% on target with that.
And really, the folks who say burn the bridges, and the ships and all of that, Vicki's shaking her head. No.
Not burn bridges. You never know when you're going to need to tap into resources, or they may know somebody that you're trying to bring on as a business or a customer. Right. So yeah, always, be on your A game, no matter
right.
what situation.
But also, you don't have to quit your day job. No. And I meet too many founders who really, and you listen to Gary, so he talks about this a lot. Not everybody's cut out to do this line of work. The
Right.
fortitude that is needed is huge. Some people are totally comfortable that risk taking. You see people parachuting and doing all those crazy extreme sports. Entrepreneurship is an extreme sport. You have to be able to manage all the people you now report to. There's a big mythology out there that you're your own boss. You're not. You're reporting to your vendors, your employees, your customers, your investors.
Exactly.
And so, it's okay if you're not cut out for that. There's nothing wrong with that. And to have a side hustle so you can figure this all out and get really comfortable, it's kind of like doing, your first 100 videos.
I'm still in the process of mine. So yeah, I'll get there.
And podcasts, it takes us a while to get better and better at what we're doing. It's the same thing with the side hustle. So I'm a huge fan of how you've done this, Vicki, and congratulations for transitioning out. Tell us a little bit more of your startup story around that. So the company clearly had some attrition going and they were downsizing, and you were basically going to be out of a job. I don't know if you were already having enough income coming in, or were you bootstrapping? How'd you fund your transition period?
That was all on me.
Hey, so no golden parachute?
Yeah, it's just, just use what you have. And I was doing a lot of the things myself. So like I've learned how to be a video editor. I've learned how to be an audio editor. I've learned how to build my own website and work my network to, help have somebody develop my logo for me. But then what can I do for them until I got my business up and running? And up to that point, as we all know, there's so many different resources for learning and staying on top of what the latest and greatest is, and looking at how do people use online tools and how are people getting their messages out, and really doing that due diligence to do the research and find out where the opportunities are. And then just listening to a Gary Vaynerchuk or a Lewis Howes or Rachel Hollis. There's so many people that we can learn from in our spare time. So on your drive to work, during your lunch break, on your drive home, when you're working out, there's so many opportunities and so many different platforms that we can continuously learn and understand our space, so that when we're ready to make that transition, we're preparing for it. And then when we make that transition, we're ready for it.
Beautiful advice. I love that. And so, given that this was a side hustle, you were able to figure out your value proposition during this time. I mean, have you refined it since 2011? Did you learn more during those years as a side hustle? And have you learned more now that you've transitioned into full time?
Yeah, it's evolved over time. So back in 2011, I was strictly just like digital marketing. And now it's like last year when I transitioned to full time, I focused on marketing and sales. So my value proposition has changed over time, which I think is smart given the space that I'm in, that it needs to evolve over time. So I've continued to hone in on that. And then like March, April last year, when I finally figured out, okay, marketing and sales is like my niche and where I want to focus. And I know that small and mid-sized businesses are the ones who don't have full staffs or even dedicated resources to those items, that's where I could really lend a hand and either be more strategic or help guide the path, or say, hey, here's some things that you need to be doing, like, creating your own personas, or let's map out your customer journey and figure out where the pain points are and how you can solve those problems. So by being that person from an outside perspective, stepping in, I found that that's like my strength and where I can provide the most value to those companies. And, that's part of what keeps me going with my business.
I love that. And, I ask all my founders, what, with their business model, are they seeking to scale? Are they seeking to, give or, have more for their community? And where do you see the big picture for your business? And again, you listen to Gary Vee. So we have to focus on the fact that a success metric for a business is based on who you are as the business founder and what you want to have in your life. Too many people they are so happy. They're $250,000 a year or $50,000 a year. It doesn't matter. They're doing great, but then they get here, they should be scaling, and they increase their business just a little and they're miserable. Or some folks are chomping at the bit And scaling is a perfect model for them.
Yeah.
Where are you at in all of this?
I definitely want to scale my business. And right now I'm working with a lot of businesses in person. So local businesses that I work with, and then also just over the phone or, through Zoom conversations
Sure.
like this. But ultimately, I do want to scale my business so that I can help more businesses on a bigger scale online.
And does that look like hopping on, oh, not Kabashi, but what anyway, and one of these online, thank you, Kajabi?
Yeah, I've actually got a relationship at Thinkific. So
Okay,
I've got a relationship there. So I have a dedicated link that people can use, and it's an affiliated link. So I've already kind of got that established, and
great.
working on online courses that I can offer that, kind of walk through the 10 steps of alignment, but also that strategic side of it of saying, let's really figure out where your pain point is, because you may think that you need marketing help, but maybe it's just a problem with your internal processes. And when you take the step back and ask the questions, that's where you can uncover what the real problem is.
Wow. So I have two pressing questions regarding that. One, because you dip your toe into one of the little side awesome sauce ingredients that you bring your clients, which is this ability to manage processes and systems. So you're not only, and there's that left brain, everybody. I told you marketing. It's a numbers left brain game. But you're talking about not only the big picture, marketing and sales, but you're talking about how are the systems in place, and I imagine conversations, right?
Yes, correct.
That are happening, that, especially with a founder, you have to be able to lead your marketing and sales team in a way that's effective for the business. But as Vicki was just saying, you've got to identify what that looks like for your business. But I love that you came in with how systems and procedures. What does that look like? I'm a huge fan of getting things systematized and flowing perfectly so that you can have more opportunity to create magic and extraordinary moments.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So with the systems and processes internally, a lot of times it's uncovering the internal issues that might be going on, or the internal pain points. So having the discussion with the founder, having a discussion with the person who oversees operations, and really understanding how they operate internally first. What's the communication between the team members, regardless of how big the company is. If there's a disconnect between the communication, and you have, the founders doing one thing, and then you've got the marketing, sales and accounting person doing something else, then they need to start there. There's an internal issue that needs to be fixed before they can actually look at the marketing. And maybe that's why they're not getting the clients or getting the leads that they want, because maybe one person's saying one thing and somebody else is saying something else.
Right. Yeah. There's always, the kerfuffle of confusion that goes on in any organization. And, your ability to do that without doing one-on-one, because we're just talking about you scaling your business. Folks, when you're a service provider, you have time.
Yes.
And you can, just trade time for money, which is a fine business model.
Yes.
But you want to bring more in and maybe have more time to do other things in your life. You've got to think about, well, what do you want to spend 20% of your time on, one-on-one, and then the rest, well, how can you leverage your business? So this is what you're figuring out, right, Vicki?
Yes, I am figuring that out and seeing how I can take those conversations that I have in person or just one-on-one, and actually being part of that process, and create those processes for someone else to lead and oversee within their organization, and almost make it like a course of evolution. So you start with this, and then once you've met these objectives, then we're going to go to phase 2. And all businesses will operate at different paces. So it depends on when they accomplish that set of objectives or those action items, then they're ready to go to the next step.
I love that. Leverage, leverage, leverage. This way, Vicki is going to make money while she sleeps.
Yes. And ultimately, I'm going to be helping the masses while I sleep. That's what I'm going to do.
That's a lovely vision. We're going to hold that vision for you.
Thank you.
Again, this is a topic around the service industry and finding out what our sweet spot is as a service provider, whether you're an attorney, an accountant, or marketing and sales expert. You need to find out what where you're going to get your business to, and understand what's right for you. Now, again, if that I'm going to work 30 hours a week, I'm going to do one-on-one with my B2B or B2C customers, clients, phenomenal. Now, let's talk a little bit about how, we bring that money in. Are you a retainer service industry? Are you a pay and then they get you to play? How does that work for you in your business?
Initially, it starts out as just like a consultation type paid gig. And then depending on how that evolves and what the actions are that are required after that, because it varies by business. So initially, it's a fee for that initial strategy consultation session. And then after that, let's do a monthly retainer in order to keep the business running so that I can focus on more of those strategic conversations that help me with helping them.
Great. And so it's only been, not even 2 years, right, since you launched full time.
Yeah,
how do you
correct.
feel it's going?
It's going good. It's going in the direction that I want it to. It is slower than I had anticipated, only because you don't realize, even though I was doing it before, when you start focusing on it full time, I'm the kind of person, my mind starts going in all these different directions. Here's all the things that I want to do. I kind of rein myself in, stay focused, but at the same time, you don't realize that, okay, your website can't be done overnight. It takes time. And then you start looking at how much time you're spending building your network or, letting people know, hey, I'm on my own now. So here's what I'm doing. And, let's collaborate, let's talk and see how we can work together. So it takes a lot of time. And I think that's probably, and hopefully you'll agree with me on this, that's probably the biggest frustration with people, regardless if they do a side hustle and then go on their own, or if they just go all in on their own. It takes time. It really does.
Honest to goodness, it's a 10-year overnight success.
It's that all over again.
It is. And again, I'm all about busting the myths about entrepreneurship, and the glorification of this. One of my favorite sayings is, are you sleeping like a baby at night, waking up every 2 hours crying,
That is true, because you just, every day's different. It's an emotional roller coaster.
It really is. But I also say quite frequently, it's the best personal development course out there, because you really do uncover and tap into abilities and greatness that this resistance helps you uncover and see about yourself, which is another layer of fulfillment and reward that money cannot give you. Yeah. So while you're struggling, what is it that helps you keep your mindset strong? Have you figured out any tips along the way that you want to share with folks?
Honestly, it's just connecting with people online. Like and also in person. So I've got people in person that I actually can just meet and collaborate with or bounce ideas off of, or if I'm struggling and I just want to break down and cry and pull my hair out. They understand. Maybe they're not going through that same thing, and maybe they're not a business owner, because I do have people like that who aren't, but they're very empathetic or sympathetic depending on their situation as to what I'm going through. So just knowing that there's people I can reach out to, and they're very supportive.
Yeah.
Being online.
Yeah. Finding community of like-minded souls who are going through similar challenges is wonderful. Having a business coach or a founder coach who you can unload with, because really the people around you who love you do not like to see you suffer. And right. So having, the ability to be able to, keep a brave face for them, because they have if entrepreneurship is not their gig, then they have no idea and would really prefer that you went back on payroll and a steady gig.
Yeah. I think everybody that we surround ourselves with and that we are around, we all want each other to be successful in whatever that level of success is. And if someone's genuinely unhappy with their current situation, then help them get to a place where they are happy. We've only got today. We don't know if we have tomorrow. So let's make the most of it now. That's
right. And happiness really is about this learning that you go through as an entrepreneur. The struggle is real and the pain is real, and the moments of deep uncertainty are very real. But at the same time, we are also experiencing the joy of figuring things out, no matter what happens. And Vicki, I've had 4 businesses, and they didn't all have great endings. Doesn't matter. They're just so important. And the experience that I've gained that I'm now able to share with others from those experiences. And you're experiencing the same thing. And I love that you addressed one of my other favorite questions, which is, how do you manage isolation? And for you, it's connecting with your online community.
Yes, exactly. I've been spending more time on LinkedIn, which for me is like my go-to social media platform, because for me, there's better conversations that happen there. And I can contribute, other people contribute. So that's where I find that I tend to navigate.
Yeah, it's the chamber of commerce of social media.
Yeah, it really is. It's just a collaboration of, good people who, most of them are very helpful and just want to see other people do great things. So it's, and I've got a network of people on there that are very helpful and very supportive. And we always have DMs going back and forth, like, hey, I noticed that you put this on, in your message. Is everything okay? It's just like, yeah, everything's fine. And it's just, all right, cool. Just that whole checks and balances online can happen too. And we all need that.
We do. I've met some of the most wonderful, outstanding people online, like you, Vicki.
And I've met you, and I'm very thankful for that. Thank you, Ande.
So how may we support you and your business? Because the Startup Life show and Startup Life stories, we're all about celebrating. You chose this incredible journey, and we want to cheer you on. We want to open doors on. We want to celebrate you and help you with your business. So share with folks how we can do that.
Oh, thank you so much. It would be great if people were interested in marketing and sales to go out and subscribe and listen to my podcast, which is all about marketing and sales, and then just how to align those two solo episodes as well as interview episodes. So
it's called
Connect the Dots.
Great. And how do we find it?
You can find it on most of the popular podcasting platforms. So iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and then my website's the best place to go just because it's got all the show notes. It has all the links that I mentioned in each episode, as well as the interviews and just links where you can connect with those people online too. So that's really the best place to go.
Yay. I'm going to have all the links in the show notes, everybody, so that you can follow this extraordinary female founder everywhere she glows. We all need to have information about marketing and sales and the strategies and solutions that support those efforts going on in our lives. And podcasts are the best way to absorb it. I do it like folding laundry, doing any kind of chore, gardening, or driving into the city. Podcast is where I can continually learn, and I encourage all of you to hop onto Connect the Dots and tune in and get better at being a founder. I mean, this is an ongoing journey of learning and growing and becoming better. And I know Vicki will serve you tremendously. I'm so grateful that you tuned in. And folks, your time, I know you could be doing something else. So the fact that you're here joining Vicki and me for this delicious conversation, I'm truly, truly grateful. If you have a startup story you'd like to share with me on the Startup Life Show, either the podcast or my startup story time on my YouTube channel, please reach out to me at Ande@andelyons.com. And to receive an alert whenever I post a new video, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, hit that beautiful little bell so that you get a notification, and you'll get my deep gratitude. Thank you, thank you. And of course, follow me on Pinterest, because I'm always synthesizing and curating fabulous advice for the founder journey and for your startup. If you're ready for some one-on-one founder coaching, ta-da, please reach out to me. I have a founder calendar schedule so that you can quickly schedule a 15-minute conversation with me, and we can see what your needs are and take it from there. Hey, Vicki, thank you so much for joining me on Startup Story Time. I'm so thrilled you're here to share your side hustle story with founders everywhere.
Thank you so much for having me today, Ande. I greatly appreciate you. I greatly appreciate what you bring to the startup community, and I'm honored that to be on your show today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And listeners, I'm cheering you on from here, and I want you to remember, stay strong, stay focused, keep listening and tuning in to great advice from all the folks who are here to inspire you, because I believe in you. And remember, you've got this. Cheers and mwah, mwah, mwah.